Hello everyone, my name is Alyssa Posthuma and I will be presenting on Lululemon and their ethics. For my thesis statement, I have Lululemon's business philosophy and competitive corporate culture is justified and acceptable because it has garnered great success for the company, its employees, and its stakeholders. My terms are decentralized authority structure, which means important decisions are typically made by supervisors or middle management instead of upper management. The power is spread through the organization. Cult, a group of people sharing similar unorthodox or religious beliefs that may be seen as odd or sinister. KPI, which are key performance indicators. And pilling, a deformity that occurs on clothing fabrics when fibers and lint bunch together to make small textile balls on the surface. And then for my philosophical assumption, I have the Kantian theory of meaningful work states that for a company to remain ethical, employees must be treated as an end, not a means to an end. Section 1, defend your thesis. Lululemon uses its core values to motivate its employees and create a competitive and rewarding work environment. The KPI Institute, a global business research institute focused on business performance, released an article in 2016 expressing the value of having strong core values in a business. These core values help determine how employees treat one another or ethical dilemmas, can provide measures of success within a business, and can help a customer differentiate one business from a competitor. Lululemon strongly believes in their core values of integrity, quality, product, entrepreneurship, balance, fun, and greatness. The values of fun and greatness should represent what employees should strive for in the workplace and help motivate them. Utilizing these core values can help build a strong business such as Lululemon. Lululemon invests in their employees by putting a large focus on their training and development. They are very selective in their interviews because they want to make sure that they have a candidate who is a great match, not only to the job position, but also the culture. Hiring managers carefully watch the applicant's interactions with others to see if they would be a good match, and occasionally invite them to join in on a yoga class for further inspection. Once an applicant is hired, they are given 30 hours of training and 3 weeks working the sales floor in order to properly prepare them for their job position. Lululemon also encourages employees to work on their personal growth and development by having them post their goals around the store. All of these actions on behalf of the company are to ensure that their employees are well-prepared and well-rounded individuals. Lululemon cares about its customers and community and shows this through community involvement. Lululemon empowers its employees by having a decentralized corporate structure. This allows employees to feel like they are making a difference because they are responsible for more of the decision-making at a store level. According to the book Management: A Practical Introduction, another benefit of having decentralized authority is that the organization can make more efficient decisions in a shorter period of time. The employees are also classified as educators to show the important and informative role that they play within the company. Lululemon has a mission of promoting a healthier lifestyle in its employees and communities. This follows the CDC recommendation for encouraging physical activity in the workplace. The CDC states that having a workplace wellness program can reduce call-ins, improve employee morale, and increase productivity. To encourage a healthier lifestyle, Lululemon holds weekly yoga classes for free, taught by professionals. Any shopper who has attended the free classes can get 15% off their purchase at the store. This is highly incentivizing because Lululemon rarely has sales because they want the impression of their products being an exclusive and luxury item. In addition to the free yoga classes, Lululemon also offers classes for self-defense and personal goal setting. These classes show the company's commitment to helping keep their customers and communities grow in their skills and health goals. The company also frequently donates money to local charities in their communities. This keeps the circulation of money within their own community and serves a noble purpose. Lululemon cares about its customers' opinions and gives its clients opportunities to suggest local charities and organizations for them to donate to. Not every donation is local, however. One notable donation was $750,000 to the Dalai Lama Center for Peace and Education. This donation was strongly resembling the company's vision of mind, body, heart. Next, I have posted a video link to a TED Talk video from Cheryl Thompson, the founder of Lead One, Lead All, who talks about how competition breeds excellence in the workplace. Section 2. Criticize your thesis. The atmosphere created by upper management at Lululemon is too cutthroat and competitive and has led to a toxic work environment. Lululemon's hiring process is too selective with the personalities that it hires, not leaving enough room for diversity of thought. Founder and former CEO Chip Wilson has admitted to trying to only hire type A personalities who are highly competitive, get stressed quickly, work obsessed, and are often prone to aggressiveness. Without other personality types mixed in, the work atmosphere can turn overly aggressive and competitive with one another. To add to the fire, Lululemon has exceedingly high standards and forces new employees to read books that Chip likes that speak of qualities such as human greatness. The work atmosphere has been described by many critics as cult-like and focusing too much on competition and not enough on collaboration. One store in Maryland had an incident in 2011 where an employee was said to have been caught stealing, and their coworker lured the employee to the back and brutally murdered her. This has been criticized as an example of how the overly competitive environment fosters hatred and jealousy to others for one's own personal pursuit instead of creating a collaborative environment with a healthy dose of competition for the company. According to the Kantian theory of meaningful work, for a company to remain ethical, employees must be treated as an end, not a means to an end. In other words, an employee must be doing the work for themselves and not for someone else's personal gain. While this is not true for all companies, Kant goes further to say that if an employee must be treated as a means to an end, then the company must allow for them to maintain their own self-respect in order to remain an ethical employer. The company has made many statements and products that have caused controversy and have had detrimental effects on Lululemon's company reputation. Many of these ethics concerns are derived from founder and former CEO Chip Wilson. One very controversial opinion that Chip has expressed is that he is in favor of using child labor in third world countries. He claims letting children work in factories in third world countries would help get them out of poverty, but at the same time, ignores the idea that children are being exploited and abused in poor working environments without properly being able to stand up for themselves. Children are too young to fully understand their best interests and how working in these environments instead of focusing on education can affect them both in the moment but also in the long run. In some cases, not all, forcing children to work and exploiting them in this way can also lead to sexual abuse and child trafficking. The majority of Lululemon's production is in Southeast Asia and China. According to the International Labor Organization, a United Nations organization whose focus is on economic and social justice through creating international labor standards, allowing child labor to continue starts an ongoing cycle. The child laborers had poor upbringings. They then focused on working to provide for their family and pushed education to the side. This results in them growing up to be young adults who are uneducated and have poor job prospects. Then any children that they may typically have fall into the same trap. The International Labor Organization recommends putting a focus on education to help pull children out of this cycle for their best interest. The ILO believes that child labor is unsafe and is not the best option for children to pursue. It raises ethics concerns when the founder of a company decides to use labor in other countries and then publicly voice their positive opinion of child labor. A report from Insider.com states that factory workers making Lululemon clothing in Bangladesh are being abused and humiliated in the workplace. They are called names and forced to follow extremely difficult deadlines. These are not suitable environments for adults, let alone the potential child. Even if the company does not utilize child labor in their own production, they are encouraging it despite worrisome drawbacks. Chip Wilson has also made multiple comments on behalf of the company that have a negative view of women and the woman's body without remorse. In March of 2013, Lululemon had an issue with their yoga pants becoming too sheer when bent over. This is an especially noticeable issue because they were frequently worn in yoga, which includes bending in a variety of fashions. It is generally expected that pants made specifically for bending in a variety of ways would be produced in a way that is not too revealing or see-through when used for its commonly used function. Some of the styles of yoga pants were also accused of pilling around the thigh area. Instead of apologizing for the oversight or attempting to remedy the situation, Chip spoke on behalf of the company and blamed women's bodies for the sheerness and the pilling of fabric. He blames his customers for buying sizes too small for them and wearing them out quicker than intended. This statement blamed his customers and their bodies for the defects in his own product, body-shaming women for being too large for the sizes that they feel are fitting. This is a sign of the company not taking responsibility for their actions and pushing the blame away from them. This shaming of women and their bodies is destructive to their self-esteem and their view of the company. The origin of the brand name is racially insensitive as well. Chip Wilson confessed to choosing the name Lululemon because it has 3 L's in it, and he believes it is funny to hear Japanese people try to pronounce that name. There is no backstory or meaning behind the name. It was simply made because of having multiple L's in it, so it would be an amusing joke from Chip's perspective when hearing it pronounced incorrectly. This way of thinking is racially insensitive, and the entire brand wears a logo with an inappropriate backstory. This raises a concern with how the company and founder will treat others who are working with them or for them if they are Japanese. It is an ethics concern if the company's logo and founder are so upfront with their biases. It leads to concerns that Lululemon may have other discriminatory practices and beliefs leaking down from upper management and poisoning the company culture. Next, I attached a video link to a TED Talk by Peter Glick, who's a professor in social sciences. He talks about contest culture and how that relates to a toxic workplace environment. Part 3, Conclusion. The competitive work environment encourages employees to beat their own personal goals, provide healthy challenges, and improves work performance. Competition isn't necessarily a bad thing. Competition can help fuel us to reach goals, increase our productivity, and motivate us to do a good job. It can help us improve ourselves. Lululemon wants informative, goal-oriented individuals working for them who can be an excellent brand ambassador. The company wants to encourage others to set goals and live a healthy lifestyle by being a positive influence who represents that mindset. The company's extensive interviewing and training process means that only those who are deeply committed and interested in representing that will make it through their program and work for them. The employees are there by their own free will and because they want to make a positive difference. The goal-setting aspects of the company culture is something that they encourage others to do as well. They hold classes not only for yoga, but also for goal setting and personal development for those in their communities. Goal setting is important because it helps you step back and look at a bigger picture, as well as finding quantifiable ways to measure your own success in areas that you want to grow. According to Psychology Today, those who set goals are often higher achievers. In their recommendations on how to best set goals, they encourage writing down the goals as well as seeking feedback and support from their goals. This is exactly what Lululemon is doing when they have their employees write down their goals and post them in the store. This way, they are written down, a reminder of what to strive for, as well as visible for peers for support. Chip Wilson is no longer representing the company, but his views were personal and did not reflect the views of the brand or its associates. Due to controversy over his personal statements, Chip Wilson stepped down from his position as CEO in December of 2013. They have been operating the last 8 years without his involvement as CEO. These statements were Chip's personal views. Chip believes that having an early start to learning how to work will help build good work ethics and knowledge throughout a person's life. This statement about his feelings on the matter were in his personal blog. While there have been some reports of poor working conditions in some of the factories that Lululemon is produced in, they are not owned by Lululemon. Lululemon does not own any of the manufacturing facilities that they use to produce their athletic wear. Chip Wilson may have liked the sound of 3 L's being spoken in a row within the brand name, but he didn't make the decision of Lululemon being the brand name exclusively. He ran a survey of 100 people and gave them a list of 20 different brand names and 20 different logos. He went with what the public liked, which happened to be the name Lululemon. Despite these so-called controversies, Lululemon has been very profitable. Their number of stores have been rapidly growing in the past 20 years, and they have seen revenues around $2.3 billion. They focus on having a stakeholder mindset and making decisions based on what is best for their clients, shareholders, and local areas. Their stock prices have also increased by 432.9% over the past 5 years. Despite any claims of controversy, the company has had excellent financial gains and continues to grow.